This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, and Kristen Gilreath. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Wael Altali to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also want to thank Ben Wilder for increasing his pledge over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. It really does mean a lot to us. In this episode, we're talking about chapter 29 of The Path of Daggers.
Yeah, so chapter 29 is A Cup of Sleep.
Which I just got.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's the Cup of Sleep.
It's the Cup of Sleep.
Yeah. I mean, let's not spoil it for the end of the chapter just yet, but...
Okay.
This is an eventful chapter.
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
And
what is going on?
So here's the thing. We see what happens.
What a sloppy attack.
I mean, my question is going to be...
This is so sloppy.
Well, it's one of those things, it's like, is what happened what we think happened?
Right.
You know? Like, we saw things. Saw things happen.
Yeah.
But is what we saw what actually happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Because if somebody actually wants Rand dead, we can't just blow up the room and hope he's dead, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. So, okay.
Like a huge gamble.
We're going to have to talk about it because clearly Rand, not dead.
No.
Not dead, but...
Ta'Veren.
Okay.
Yes.
But before we get into the chapter...
Yeah.
This is the second last episode. Next episode is our last one, which is very exciting.
It.
After, right now, you can go finish the book.
I know, that's really exciting.
Super exciting.
That happened so fast.
Yeah, well, shortest book in the
It is
series.
short, I know.
But you know what that means for the fun fact for today.
Oh, no.
Oh,
what?
no.
Not chapter symbols?
No.
Oh my gosh, I gotta start studying.
But this... You're going to forget until next recording. That's okay. This one is all about the perspective breakdown. So we're talking about this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What we actually saw.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a quiz time. What happened in book 8?
Okay.
Who knows?
Yep.
Who knows?
This happened so fast. I'm not even remotely prepared.
No, I can tell by the shock in your voice. So, okay.
I don't know why I'm so surprised. This happens every time.
Okay, so The Path of Daggers had 31 chapters and a
Yes.
prologue.
Yeah.
And
We're not finished.
Okay,
yeah.
has. And out of those chapters, there are 33 unique point of views.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because there's 33 unique point of views, so individuals, and then there's 65 total point of views.
Okay.
The reason why that's interesting is because it is the second most number of unique point of views that we see in any of the books so far.
Well, yeah, because there's less chapters, but I felt like
we jumped around to a lot of people.
There were a lot of perspective changes.
Tons of people had like one perspective scene, but there's a lot of those.
Okay.
So it's the second most compared to Lord of Chaos that had 47 instead of the 33 that was this book.
Okay.
And it had the second least number of total point of views.
Okay, I'm not following your numbers. Okay, give me your quiz. What do you want me to know?
Who do we see the most from in
Rand.
this book? Here we go.
Rand.
Oh, that's your final...
Yeah.
Okay. You are correct.
Yeah.
So, out of the 65, how many were Rand, do you think?
Okay, well, here's the thing, because I still have another chapter to read.
Is that really going to affect your guess? Really?
No. Well, no, but I feel like it's a bit preemptive.
Okay. You know what? If you get really close, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Okay, out of the 65,
Okay.
how many are Rand?
21.
Way too many.
Ah!
Way too many.
Shoot.
Okay, the last chapter is not that long. So 10. We got to see 10 Rand perspectives. And
That's
coming
it?
in, which is, it's kind of
Okay.
interesting because you said we saw a lot of Rand this book.
Yeah, we did.
Who takes the number 2 spot?
Elaine.
Okay. Technically, yes.
Tied?
Tied for second with who?
Perrin?
No.
Egwene.
No. Egwene.
Okay.
Egwene. So they both had 7 perspectives.
I just had a thing where I doubted myself. The stuff with Perrin and Morgase, was that the beginning of this book?
There was a lot of Perrin.
Was that was this book? That
Yeah.
wasn't last book?
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to mix up books.
No, that was... Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So the interesting thing is that they both had 7 out of the 65. Rand had 10. but Elaine had the most number of words. She had 43,000 words written for her, and Rand only had 36.
Ooh,
so we actually saw more Elaine by word count.
Yeah, okay.
And then coming in at number 4...
It felt like more Rand, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. And then Perrin actually came in at number 4 with 6 perspectives. He was really close.
Yeah.
Really close there. And then we had like a lot of stragglers
at
3, 2, and 1.
One chapter left. And let me tell you, there's going to be a one Matt perspective, right?
Okay.
Right?
Well, maybe.
No.
You know, it's interesting because
No,
Matt...
I think that I'm going to be right about this. I don't think we see in this book. So.
Matt had the most last book. He had the most perspectives and word count last book. So, yeah. You got spoiled, and now this book,
I
it's
could
like...
see that.
Where the heck is Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is he?
Crushed underneath a wall, still, maybe.
No, he's not.
Months.
Yeah. No, he's not, but he needs help.
Okay, so let's get into it. A cup of sleep. I'm ready for this.
Okay. Well, last time we were here, Elaine and that crew made their way to Camelin. Adelius and Ispan were murdered along the way. And then we also saw Jacob Carradine get brutally murdered in a murder basement.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
We also saw Rand return to Cairhien after his Seanchan battle, and then try to get the upper hand on Cadsuane by asking her to be his advisor, which is a questionable decision.
Yeah, after his big, like, storm-in entrance kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was, not the best plan. But
he's a touch unhinged.
A little bit. That's a nice way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, chapter 29, A Cup of Sleep, and the chapter symbol is the dragon.
Yeah.
So, we enter in a Min perspective. She's currently dealing with Rand being a sulky, whiny baby.
Right, yeah.
Because apparently the news is out that Elaine is back in Camelin. And Min is saying, just go to her. Go talk to her. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yes, go.
You know it's better than talking to her?
What's the problem here?
Stamping around the castle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's mad. He's like, now I know which letter to believe. She's safe from me now, at least. So
it doesn't
I'll
really
just
make
leave her alone.
It's like they're not even... They're in Cairhien, right? Like, they're in different nations right now, too.
Yes.
So how and why is he so cranky?
Well, because...
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
He's cranky because she tore his banners down.
Okay, you picked up on that. So, like, part of it, but also, like, that's what you wanted. I mean, kind of jumping ahead, that's Min's entire point.
No. She didn't send word to him. He had to hear from none other than Taim.
Right.
This morning, he came for a visit and brought news that Elaine had taken down all the dragon banners in Camelin, and now Rand is stomping around, being annoyed at everything.
Yeah.
And Min is trying to point out very calmly that this is literally exactly what Rand wanted to happen.
Yeah, like, you wanted her to be safe in Camelin and take over, so, like, part of her becoming queen is you not being there. You don't want to be there. They don't want you there. She doesn't want you there, really, but not in, like, a I hate you, like, as this is my nation kind of way.
Right. Don't come in here and try to rule. Come here and be my boyfriend.
Right. Yeah.
And also, these letters, those confusing letters were written over a year ago.
Yeah, and for someone who's not very good at writing letters, Rand.
Right.
Right? You should take a little bit,
And how is she supposed to write to him or call to him in any way? She has no idea where you are.
That's true. That's
Zero idea. Where she's just supposed to send letters to every single nation you could possibly be in?
Yep.
Like, no.
Open love letter. Send him out.
No.
Okay.
No, but it's a clear statement. Oh, she clearly doesn't want anything to do with me. Tore my banners down.
Yeah, so he's being a whiny butt baby.
Yeah. Now, at this point, though, Sorelia comes in, and there are 5 women trailing her in thick black robes, and Min sees a whole bunch of viewings all around them because they're Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Now, she starts to focus and try to figure out if she can actually see anything, if she can get anything from these women. They are the ones from the group that kidnapped Rand.
Yeah.
And also tortured him.
Yeah, they're like some of the Aes Sedai he has captive. These are just like 5 that are currently Sorelia is ready to bring before Rand.
Right. So Sorelia tells Rand that these women are Datsang.
We see that from the robes.
Yeah. And she thinks they all feel their shame to the bone. They've all finally asked to be beaten as Rand was, and then they were.
Yep.
And each asked to serve Rand however she may, even though their toll for betrayal can never be met. But since they still want to try to atone, Sorelia thought she'd leave it up to Rand to decide.
Yeah, and that in itself is kind of weird because the Wise Ones, like, never let Rand decide anything, and Min kind of picks up on that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the actual point here? Maybe it's sort of like a healing thing that Sorelia thinks might help Rand to, like, be able to pass judgment on these people. It's kind of like an interesting thing to why.
I don't know, maybe she's just kind of sick of them.
I mean, there's a lot more of them, too, though.
I know, but to just constantly be trying to shame someone and have them doing all sorts... Like, you gotta keep tabs on these people, too, right?
Well, it's not just Sorelia. She's got a whole network of Wise Ones
but
doing
everyone's
this.
Annoyed of it.
And even that, they're not just gonna, like, let them be around Rand. They're gonna be... I mean, their dad's saying they literally cannot be... They're never gonna be trusted.
Yeah.
So...
That's true. Now, I have a question for you before we get into all of this stuff.
Okay.
We get some names of these people.
Yep.
But I don't know. I know some of them.
Are they important?
Are they important? But no. My question is, are these ones that we saw Varen questioning and doing her...
One of them, yes.
Beldine. Garbage compulsion weaves on their brain.
Yeah. So Beldine was one of the ones. We saw Varen working or going to be working on like 2 or 3 of them, but only one of these 5 was involved in that, and that was Beldine.
For sure, though.
For sure.
Because Varen could be up to quite a bit, because she was in charge of questioning like all of them.
Yep. And she was like working her way through, and she's like, oh, I can only do X amount more today. Mm-hmm. So like she definitely did a lot, but we don't have any names besides Beldine the Green here.
Okay,
so.
And she definitely gave some orders, and I remember trying to figure out what those orders might be and how they might serve her, because she didn't like seeing them, as Dat's saying.
No, she didn't necessarily, but she also was like, well, you know, they kind of got themselves in this position anyway, so...
But as somebody who also has sworn to Rand...
Yeah.
She clearly sees the value in that, and I had suspected maybe part of their instructions were to get to the point where they can swear to Rand.
Yeah. So I mean, impossible. Like we don't know enough. We don't know enough.
It feels like that.
Okay.
Because
that's actually a good point, because I do want to go through their reasons for doing this.
They each have their own,
and they're kind of garbage.
Well,
in my opinion,
their own Aes Sedai Aja reasons.
It's like, if this is an apology,
do you think that all of the Aes Sedai Ajas are garbage? Because that's what I just heard you say.
Yeah, I can justify that opinion. Yeah. Based on these answers that these 5 give.
Well, the brown one's like, oh, I'm brown. I want to study you.
I want to
study
the best way to do it.
I'm green.
So we got to be at the last battle.
We got to be at the battle together.
They're horrible.
And the white one's like, oh, I think that logically what we did was fine before, but now
it's different.
It's not logical.
Now I should, serve you. So yeah, individually, all these excuses or reasons, and like, it's not supposed to be an apology necessarily, but like, gosh, guys. Sorry for kidnapping you, Rand. Sorry for torturing you, Rand.
No, there's none of that. There's no apologies.
But I mean, maybe there should be.
No,
you don't have to say sorry for kidnapping and torture.
Not if they're not sorry.
But then why are they even being allowed to be able to serve Rand? Possibly.
Well, because they don't want to be whipped anymore.
Get back to digging your holes.
They don't want to do that.
Garbage. Anyways. Well, that covers that. I don't know. But yeah, there's 5 of them. They're a little bit of combination from a few. There's a lot of 3 greens here, but they each give their own terrible reason for doing things.
Okay.
Oh, but Elza. Mm-hmm. Elza's the last one, and to Min, this is the most surprising one. Not in what she says, but how she says it. She like sinks to her knees and gazes up at Rand, and then throws herself on the floor. And she's like, "Oh my God, let me, make sure that you're there for the last battle. You have to be there." Yeah. So it was kind of like a weird way to do it.
Well, that also feels a little bit compulsion-y to me. I don't know. I keep going back to this. What did Varen do to these ladies' brains?
Yeah.
She tried. It wasn't like a bunch of garbage weaves.
It wasn't the best compulsion-y type stuff we've ever seen.
Very rudimentary.
Yeah.
Rudimentary compulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
So maybe that could get them to I have to help you get to the last battle.
Because if that's what...
Maybe. That actually,
Varen told them
kind of checks out. So, are you on the this is positive side of things, or are you on the this is bad side of things?
No, why is this bad?
I don't know. I just want to hear what you is good, bad, so.
Not, you know what?
Are we still cool with Varen doing her
Oh, none of this is good. None of this
situationally.
is good. Situationally, it's fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
Not passing a ton of... You're not like, oh my god, how could Baron do
this entire situation with Aes Sedai in general.
Okay. Well, Rand seems to be the exact same way. Yeah.
Okay. But we do get a few more of Min's viewings.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My favorite one is the Green Aja one, who will bond an Ashaman as a warder.
Yeah, how the heck is that going to go down?
That sounds exciting.
Does it?
I can't wait to see that. That sounds like a cool plot. I want to see that.
I mean, we kind of maybe have already seen that happening.
No, we've seen Ashaman bonding Aes Sedai.
Yeah, I mean, like...
That's different. That's the opposite.
It's close. I mean, we can kind of see where that might go to.
Or is it an against their will situation? Oh, see?
Right, see? Okay.
Oh, see, I'm too naive.
Shoot, okay.
I'm thinking that this is like, oh, that's nice.
Like, didn't we kind of... Didn't we go through this entire thing already?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Why am I so naive?
Well,
I was thinking that that's like a cool thing. Oh, they're gonna like team up.
Yeah.
No, though. Probably not.
Maybe not.
Oh, it doesn't seem that way anymore.
Especially because these ones aren't like the nicest Aes Sedai ever. Like maybe if it's a mutual thing.
Oh, no.
Okay, anyways.
Oh, that's worse.
The logical white Aja sister, she's
that.
going to have a great love affair, which is crazy because, like, you know.
But she's super hot, so checks out.
Okay, it makes sense. The Brown's going to start a library. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Okay. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, we did it. Now, Rand stalks around a bit and asks them all if they would accept being confined in a box and locked inside all day and beaten when they go in and when they come out. And all the Aes Sedai basically say, yeah, if you require that, that's what we'll do. And that's why I just think that this is a touch more than just normal...
No, it's not. I mean, Min...
trying to atone situation.
Yeah. Min's seeing Rand, like, threaten this.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's actually serious about it.
No,
but she sees him
hopes
going
that
down...
he doesn't want to go
that's a
through
bad
with
path.
Because he'll never forgive himself for it. And I was like, Min...
Maybe he will. Maybe he just won't even...
Put a cork in it, Min.
Right?
Shove him in a box.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah. But, okay, viewing time for Min. Because now she does have a viewing.
She suddenly has a viewing that surrounds all of them.
Yeah, including Cerelia.
Yes.
And she knows what it means. And she says it out loud. And she says they will serve you, each in her own fashion. Mm-hmm. And again, this isn't that great because that can mean a lot of stuff.
It kind of feels like each in their Aja fashion, like they said.
It's not as good as that viewing when...
They're all in the palm
They're on the palm. Yeah, it's like that was a good viewing of, they're for sure, like you got them. But this one's like, they're going to do what they want, however they feel like
to serve you.
And she says it with kind of a confidence that maybe means Rand thinks more than he should about this.
I don't know. I think it's fine.
Okay.
And I just don't care very much. I want to get to the other stuff.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, so Rand does consider what Min says for a minute and then tells them all that they can swear the same oath that Karuna and the rest of them did. And there's not really any hesitation on that. And then they all swear their oaths.
Yeah, so I guess that's cool.
All right. Now, with that done, Rand basically loses interest in them and tells Cerelia to deal with them from here and put them with the rest of the apprentices. And so Rand asks Cerelia how many she thinks she'll end up with.
Yeah.
Like apprentices, right?
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch.
How many more of these are going to come to me swearing to me?
Yeah, and probably a few more.
Yeah, she says however many are necessary. But she does think that more will come along.
Yeah, these are just like the first 5.
Yeah. Now, Rand goes back to pacing and sulking over Elaine, and Min settles back into her chair as Cerelia leads the women out of the room. But before she leaves, she turns back, does a little bit of a mic drop, a little hint to Rand, and says, Cadsuane is back in the palace today, and I think she believes you're afraid of her the way you avoid her.
Right.
And then leaves.
Yeah. And I mean, is Rand afraid of her?
Maybe.
I mean, LTT is at least a little bit because...
LTT is 100% terrified.
He runs away every time she's around, so...
Runs away, like, screaming.
Yeah. Hands above the head.
Woo! Yeah.
I assume that's what it's like.
Yeah. Now, for a split second here, I had a thought, because I really do want Rand to go to Elaine.
Yeah, okay.
I want that to happen. I want that reuniting.
Sure.
And so sometimes I make up in my head the ways that things I want to happen could possibly happen. Mm-hmm. So I think, how from this moment do I get to where I want them to be?
Gateway.
And so I make up a situation in my mind.
Okay.
So Rand goes over to put his crown on his head, but then decides against it. And he's like clearly getting ready to go somewhere. And I was like, he didn't take the bait on the Cadsuane thing. Now he's going to listen to Min, make a gateway, pop into Camelin, but he doesn't want to be all fancy pants.
So he doesn't bring his crown.
He doesn't bring his crown and whatever, but then immediately no. Immediately no.
Did he think about it and chicken out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's still sulky? Too
no.
sulky.
And I should have known realistically, because anytime Rand doesn't want to do a thing, he's not going to do it. He's just not going to.
Yeah.
Especially if Min or someone else is telling him.
Then he's for sure not doing it.
Then he's for sure not doing that.
That's his Two Rivers stubborn buttholeness.
Yep.
That's what it is.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously he's not going to Elaine, and that's sad. I thought maybe.
Okay.
Nope. All right. So he's decided. He took the bait. He's going to go find out what Cadsuane wants. Why is she here?
Phew.
Well, good thing he leaves.
Yeah, that's what I mean, phew.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying phew.
Yes. Now, he asks Min if she'll come along because she might have a viewing that could help, so off we go.
Yeah. You know what?
Side note, Fedwin Moore was in the room here with them this
been here the whole
time.
Yeah, and now he's coming
Fiddling
along.
with his buttons.
Yes. Yeah. So I do have to say, though, that this plan, if he was going to go meet Cadsuane right now, like if that plot line did actually happen, the way he's doing it this time seems better than the first time. Because the first time he marched in with all his Ashen Man, did the whole, like, blow the door open, the fanfare, the make my voice loud, whatever, to announce my presence. Like, that way isn't good. No. And maybe just going to him, like, by himself with Min would be a better way to talk to Cadsuane.
Without the crown.
Yeah, that seems like a better plan.
Right.
But no time for that now.
No. And now, also, Cerelia is a suspect on the murder board. Well, not murder.
Assassination attempt
board. When we gotta fit together
Explain.
puzzles.
Explain.
Well, she clearly maybe knows about something and wanted to get him out of the room. Because she's the one who left the bait. Go see Cadsuane.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I was trying to piece puzzle pieces together.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
No?
I don't know.
Moore also might have something to do with it.
Sure. Maybe.
Except he just is there for the ride. He's just sort of following along.
Yeah,
he doesn't do anything. Except maybe he also was going to become dead.
Okay, let's get there.
Okay, so Moore follows them out of the room, but the 6 maidens outside don't come along, and they give Rand a couple of good glares, and then Rand tells Min and Moore to watch Cadsuane carefully because she's totally up to some Aes Sedai business.
Yeah, because right up until this part, everything's normal. They're just off to go see Cadsuane.
Except not normal, because I'm very upset about this maiden business.
What do you mean?
Why? They're not following him around. They don't care to keep him safe. They're not,
Yeah, they need to teach him a lesson a little bit.
Not really, though.
He's in the palace.
This isn't how you teach Rand a lesson.
Well,
you don't just leave him alone when he wants to be left alone.
Okay.
I don't know. It makes me sad. I just wish that they were okay. But
yeah.
They're clearly upset.
They're not.
No,
their feelings are hurt.
The maidens are my favorite. I wish they were okay.
Yeah.
I wish that Rand wasn't an asshole.
Well.
Do we all wish that?
I was going to say, he is. Bit. And then he's still an asshole in this chapter towards them.
Oh my god, he's such an asshole.
It's like you're still doing the same thing that they're upset about again.
He can't help it.
He still hasn't learned.
He's got mental problems.
He does, yeah.
Real,
seriously. Big actual
mental problems.
Yes, yeah, he does.
Okay, but we'll get there because as they're walking, suddenly something hits Min from behind. And she hears roaring and crashing, and then she realizes that Rand is turning her over because she's on the floor. And he looks very worried.
Yeah, this is one of those action sequences that RJ writes from the point of view of someone who, like, doesn't know what's happening.
Going on, and so I don't know what's going on.
It's like suddenly Rand looks up from on his back because he got knocked off the horse because he took an arrow to the head.
I can believe that this scene and the rest of this chapter is probably so good on a reread.
Oh, yeah.
When you can have some idea
what the heck is
of
happening.
What's going on. Because I can tell you, it's just confusing and, like, yes, exciting, but not, like, good. Because confusing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, the hammer got brought down on the room. The room blew up.
Yes.
The room blew up, and then she got hit with, like, a shockwave, probably.
Or, like, a piece of something
the wall
flying.
So she clearly got like knocked out temporarily.
Yeah.
And wakes up to Rand like on top of her trying to like get her up.
Yeah. And the maidens are gone from in front of Rand's doors.
They might be blown up.
And the doors are gone.
Yeah. The wall's gone.
The wall's
gone.
The ceiling's gone. The snow's falling into the room.
Yeah.
From where the ceiling was.
Yes.
And it's as if a giant hammer smashed into the room they just left.
Yeah.
So now Rand looks at Mor and says, "Can I trust you?"
Because it's just the three of them in the hallway right now.
And he says, "With your life, my Lord Dragon." And Rand says, "Well, that's what I am trusting you with. So guard her with your life."
Yeah, because, you know, Min is his life. So don't let anything happen to Min.
And he says, "If they're still in the palace, they'll feel you try to make a gateway and attack before you finish. Don't channel at all unless you must. But be ready. Take her down to the servants' quarters and kill anyone or anything that tries to get her. Anyone."
Yeah.
And then Rand takes off down the hall and leaves Min with Mor.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that kind of channeling situation happen with Rand and Ilian, because we do know, and from a few different times, is like with any channeler, you can sense if they're channeling enough where that's coming from. So Rand can't like make a gateway and get her out, because they will bring the hammer down immediately again if they feel that. So it's basically like get her out, sneak her out, let's go. And Rand peeling off because he's got to do some hunting.
Right. And now later we see Mor not doing so well.
Yeah.
So do we assume that happened somewhere in between this scene and that scene, or is it already happening here?
So it likely is going to happen very shortly.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's happened yet.
Yeah.
He still seems in his capacity to think and do things.
Yes.
But Min explains that there was a moment when she then realized that his brain broke.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we don't see her for a little bit.
That's true, because we're about to have a perspective change, but before we do that, let's take a quick break and then come on back.
Sounds good.
Okay, and we're back with Rand. We're in his head. In the next moment, he's running through the corridors, he rounds a corner, and stops to seize the source. Seize the power.
Yeah. He waited until he was out of sight so that Min wouldn't see him stumble, but it's like, dude, come on.
You know what? This is a little bit of a tidbit for us, because I wasn't sure if this was an Ebu Dar thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because he hasn't really been kind of away from that area.
Yeah.
And the closer he got, sort of the worse it was. So I was like, oh, maybe that's what all this is.
Yeah, but it seems like that dizziness stuff is still happening.
Yeah, so he's still staggering, gets his double vision, but then it settles and he can hold the power still.
Yeah.
And it really does seem like he can make the power do what he wants it to. It's not like there's any backlash at this point.
Yeah, it's not the exact same. Like, some of the things are the same, but there's also, like, the difference of,
but
like,
that was
being
the
away.
Ebu Dar stuff, right?
That was
I'm
the
trying
Ebu
to
Dar
just,
weirdness.
Like, figure out what's going on, but...
Yeah, there was the weirdness in Ebu Dar where, like, Saidin and Saidar, from what we heard, wasn't doing what it was supposed to do.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like that's happening here.
Okay, so this is just different.
This is just, like, he gets dizzy when he tries to embrace Saidin.
Okay.
Which is still not good.
No.
But it's, that's
now,
what's happening.
Here's a point, because as he's getting the power, whatever, he thinks that this might have been attack by Demandred.
Yep.
Or even Asmodean finally coming back, or maybe both.
Yeah, because, like, where did that guy go? Who knows?
Yeah, okay. So, this was my question.
Yeah.
At the end of Book 5, into the beginning of Book 6, my question was, how come Rand didn't question where Asmodean was?
No, he's got better things to deal with.
So my theory that Rand killed Asmodean clearly doesn't hold up.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, is Asmodean coming back?
That guy?
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that if you know he's dead.
Right. Unless you're super crazy and your other personality killed him.
I thought you were going to say, unless he knows about the people coming back.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like he does. Like the
he
reincarnation.
He for sure doesn't know that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it seems like Rand didn't kill Asmodean.
Yeah. Not reincarnation, transmigration.
Whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's wrong, and now I'm back to square one on who killed Asmodean.
Which is, who knows?
I thought it was like, oh, that could be.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's
not Rand.
It's not Rand, no.
I thought it was, maybe.
But, that's fine. And do you have like a second? Do you have another guess?
Nope.
Anyone on the lineup? No? Okay. All right.
Avienda.
Right, you did throw that around.
I threw that around.
You did. Okay. Does that feel good?
No. Okay. I don't even know.
All right.
Okay.
Let's come back to it because we got, other things.
Okay. Now, it's interesting here, though, that he also doesn't really know exactly. He just thinks it's an attack from a Forsaken.
Yeah, he's assuming.
But when he said to Moore, they could still be here, it really felt like he knew what was happening and who the attackers were.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to find this out.
Well, also, we kind of get the reason for this. The reason he says they is because when he felt the attack right before it happened, because you could feel that amount of Sidene coming towards you.
I see.
He felt it come from two different directions, which would be very difficult to do, I suppose, if it was like one person.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make it look like two people. Like, why are you doing that if you're just trying to kill them?
Unless you're like a Forsaken who knows how to split your weaves in half and...
I mean, you could, but if you're just going to like try and smash them...
You gotta bend it like Beckham.
Bend it around the room. Okay, so... But in like two different paths. Mm-hmm. So he's assuming there's like at least two people attacking him right now.
Yes.
Which, okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
And it seems like probably.
It seems like he's not
more
wrong.
Than one person is working on this.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we didn't really talk about this because when Rand does take the source and sees double, for a second he thinks he sees a face inside his head. This is not the first time we've seen this.
No, it's not.
It's a man shimmering, unrecognizable, and then gone. Except this is the first time that Rand says, like, out loud, or in his head, I'm not sure.
Sure.
But he talks to Lews Therin and says, you won't win. If I die, I'll die me. And then Lews Therin responds about how he should have sent Ilyena away and she might have lived.
Yeah. So, okay, this face of a man that he's seeing, is this like an LTT image? Is this like another thing going on?
I'm going to trust the crazy Rand.
It kind of sounds like he thinks that this is like
Lews
LTT.
Therin, yes.
Trying to like form a visual or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite make a lot of sense.
I don't know. I'm here for it though.
Okay.
I'm here for anything Lews Therin. It's my favorite. LTT is my favorite, so...
There's a little nugget of information that's kind of tucked away in this sentence too. Not about the guy or Rand's crazy thoughts on this matter. It's about Elaine, because he thinks, it will be better off if Elaine turns against him. So in the background of this chapter, we have this like thought process from Rand, thinking that Elaine is not going to side with him. That she's going to turn Andor against him.
Right.
Min tries to be like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But crazy Rand's like, oh yes, she's against me now.
Well, and he also thinks, like, maybe she doesn't want to see me and I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
There's also that side of it.
And it's like, if she's not in love with me, tears my banners down, then she's going to turn Andor away from me.
Logical.
So, bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go. Rand goes searching through the hallways for his attackers, and he's trying to be all sneaky. There's shouting coming from everywhere about what's just happened. There's servants running all around, and he hears the quiet sound of a bunch of soft boots running.
Yeah, those are the maidens.
Yes,
coming
so he
along.
Backs against the wall and weaves fire and air around himself and stays very still.
Yeah, we get a name.
Folded Light.
Folded Light.
Invisibility
cloak.
Yeah. It's invisibility cloak.
That's what it is. Oh, you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this one.
Yeah.
People would roast me for if I didn't say this one. They'd come for me in the comments and
stand
be like...
very still against the wall.
And they'd be like, you want to say running through here, being invisible isn't exactly the same as the invisibility cloak?
He's not running whilst invisible. He's standing very still against the wall.
It's the same thing.
Okay, I get it.
We gotta do it.
Okay, and then we can drink to how stupid Rand is.
You know, he's trying his best.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's trying his best to...
the best he can do.
He's trying his best to not include the maidens.
Yeah, this is the best his stupid brain can do.
Terrible.
I agree.
This is why they're mad at you. I agree,
it's terrible.
This is why they're mad at you. This is why they don't like you. Is because you keep leaving them out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to do that again.
Yeah, but my favorite is when Luce Theron is like, the only way you can keep a woman safe is if you trap her in a box. Or something.
Yes. Thanks, LTT. Shut up.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go get the shot.
All right.
All right. And shout out to the Firefly Distillery in South Carolina and Kaylee for sending us these shot glasses.
Yeah,
it was a little while ago.
Yeah.
This isn't new, but I pulled them off our shelf and I think we should use them.
For sure. They're big guys.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
I didn't fill them up very much. They're huge. These are big shots. I filled it up to the little line.
Yeah,
the line is there for a reason, I think.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I get that. Okay. I see what you did there.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah? Okay, and just as a side note about the whole folded light situation, Rand thinks about and kind of gives us the explanation that he was worried about channeling because then someone might be able to figure out where you are and then blast you.
But folded light takes very little channeling.
So they'd have to be like right on top of him basically to even feel that. So that's kind of neat to know.
Yes.
But also, another thing is we get a thought process here that it seems like Somara, one of those 3 maidens who like really treated him like a son.
Yes.
There was Somara, Lamel, and Anila.
Lamel had bad soup.
And she's dead from the Revian battle. And now Somara seems like she died in this attack too because she was one of the maidens at the door.
Oh.
And then we don't know. We didn't actually see the bodies,
but we're assuming
they're not here. So, and
that's
he
sad.
thinks about that. But yeah.
Okay.
So, okay.
Was Samara one of the ones who helped beat him up?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so the group of maidens run past invisibility-cloaked Rand, and he thinks, I promise to let them fight, not lead them to slaughter.
It's like, dude, come on.
You don't get to decide.
That's what we're talking about here, guy.
We're literally here so that they can help protect you. That's why they're here.
Yeah, watch your back.
Yeah. But now, at this point, Rand is heading through the hallways, and he thinks that his attackers must have known he was in his rooms. And it wouldn't have been just like a random attack, so there must be spies in the palace that let him know his location. So...
This is what you meant by, like, adding...
We gotta put Sorelia up there.
Okay, as like a traitor? Like, is that what you're really...
No. As someone who warned Rand, who might have heard something somewhere. I don't even know.
Heard a whisper of something?
Which she's on the board because she was in the vicinity.
Okay.
And dropped a nugget of get out of the room.
She's on the we need to just ask some questions after this is done.
Maybe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen maidens be dark friends. Like, that's possible. It's possible.
It is possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorelia's not a maiden. She's a wise one.
No, but there was maidens standing guard who would know where Rand is.
Yeah. And more technically is on the list. Technically.
Yeah, okay.
But really, could have been...
Yeah, I mean, because he's an Asha man, like...
Because he was there and knew where Rand was.
Okay. It's just like, you're throwing a lot of people up here.
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody's up there. Everybody who's in the palace. Catswain, for all I know.
Okay.
Because here she comes. We're going to see her heading through the halls with half a dozen sisters that Rand has never seen before.
Well, come on. He hasn't seen a lot of sisters.
So many sisters.
Also, and because she looks like she's hunting, but it's like, yeah, she's probably hunting for either you or for the people who just attacked the palace.
Oh.
The palace just exploded. Of course they're on the hunt.
Yeah. I don't think Catswain is a dark friend. I've never thought that. I don't really like her. I kind of like her sassy go-gettedness.
Yeah, I mean, she's like super old and super headstrong, but
concerned, I like her. She's okay.
But not on the it seems like she wants to do what's best for Rand in whatever fashion she
deems fit.
Like whatever that means to her, but it's not like she's like an evil person.
And she's like classic Aes Sedai.
Totally.
She's like invented how to be an arrogant Aes Sedai.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But like not, if anything, she's coming to his defense. We saw her literally save his life.
Now that you're saying it, I think it's the opposite. Just because everything you say is the opposite.
Oh my god, so now she's evil and she's on the hunt for Rand to kill him?
She's a dark friend. Put her on the list.
Why wouldn't she just kill them when they were in the fog?
Because that wasn't the plan then.
But now the plan changed, so let's kill him now?
Yes,
that doesn't make any sense.
That's literally how being a dark friend works. You just act on whatever orders you get. Literally, a Forsaken could show up here and be like, do this. And then another Forsaken shows up and says, do this. And you have to do one of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The end.
Okay.
The end on that.
So where is she? Is she a dark friend or is she not?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I thought.
I know. Okay. Anyway, Cotswain passes and he backs away from the wall, and then just at that moment, a stupid little side thing. Like, why does this need to happen?
It's so funny. It's one of the A ladies.
Lady A-Lil.
Yeah. Because she was one from the Abu Dar fiasco.
Out,
yeah.
And behind her is the Sea Folk ambassador lady.
Yeah. The one who, like, just... That was just part of the bargain.
Who just showed up.
Yeah.
To, like, be here to advise Rand or something.
I love the description of it because, like, and momentarily,
Rand's in the next moment, Rand is tucking both women bound and gagged under the bed.
Just shoving these ladies under the bed.
And thinks hopefully someone will find them soon.
Yeah.
And the weave that he used to shield them, like, he tied a real loose knot, so it'll dissolve soon.
Well, in, like, a day or two. Yeah. It's so funny. Oh,
gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he thinks, maybe they're not part of this.
I mean, they're kind... Like,
and it's like, probably not.
She was one of his not very close friends. She's kind of an enemy amongst his allies.
Oh, yeah.
She's from the Abu Dar thing where he brought all the people who hate him.
I know. Yeah, and they were just, like, ready to either kill him or let him die.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. When the opportunity was there.
Yeah.
Do I think Lady Alilil is
gonna, like, knife
behind the freaking blowing up his room? No.
Yeah, she's not good enough for that. So.
No, unless she wants me to think that.
Right, okay.
I never know. But anyway, Rand keeps moving and finally comes to this big balcony, and he looks down and sees Deshiva looking around and licking his lips like normal. But then Rand sees Gedwyn and Roshade.
Yeah, those are the two Ashen Men from the Black Tower.
Yeah.
That with Rand and the Abu Dar adventures.
The ones that I've been skeptical of since the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
Very beginning.
Yeah.
That since we met him. And Luce Theron goes off chittering about killing them, and Rand hears Gedwyn say, telling you I felt nothing. He's dead.
Yeah.
And then Deshiva sees Rand.
Yeah, pause. Also, just like a couple of side notes from our Abu Dar adventure.
Yes.
Deshiva at one point, like, went up to those two guys and then, like, got booted out of their cool guy circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's like
funny.
Yeah, so it's like kind of a... This is what I wanted to say, is what we're seeing actually, like, what's what's really going down here. We see what Rand thinks about events, but, like, what's actually happening.
Well, we saw who was talking to Weiramon about doing a different plan. And Weiramon was like, no, I'm sticking to what Rand
that was
said.
Gedwyn or Roche. It was one of those guys.
One of them.
Yeah.
Right? So, I've been skeptical of both of them since the very beginning. 100% Dark Friends. That's what I've said.
Yeah.
And so here, I'm just inclined to continue to believe that they're part of this attack. They want Rand dead for some reason.
Okay.
And
what about Deshiva? Where does he fit into all this?
Also a Dark Friend.
But, so here's the thing.
He attacks Rand.
Okay. But
I guess you don't have to be a Dark Friend to want to attack Rand.
Here's the thing. Couple things I want to point out here. Do you remember how Deshiva got picked to become one of Rand's guys?
Because Taim said, here, take these people. And Rand said, no, I'll take that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then everyone was like, what?
Yes.
And Deshiva was surprised, and Taim was surprised, and Rand was surprised, and everybody else was surprised. And then it's like, okay.
And I was like, oh, because Taim is Demandred, for sure.
So you assume, since Taim is Demandred.
He wanted to set Black...
Yeah.
Dark Friends.
Black Aja, but from the Black Asherman. Yeah. Dark Friend.
Asherman. Dark Friends.
Yeah.
With Rand. And Rand was like, no.
So I'll take Deshiva. So Deshiva, not one of the core group of...
No.
So he might be a bad guy, but he's not like a bad guy.
Friend. He might not be, except that maybe he got like sucked into it by accident.
Tried to become, because then we saw him like join the group, but he's been with Rand for a while now, too.
Yeah, he has been, but he also might be crazy.
Yeah, and also, just to add to this pile
crazy.
Let's come back to that question after Taim meets up with Rand, because Time is also...
Dashiva's not in the list.
No, and Time is very surprised about Dashiva because Rand is like, add Dashiva to the list, and Time's like, what?
Which I have to talk about this list that Taim is so conveniently showing up to tell Rand about.
Oh my god, okay, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
okay.
well...
Yeah, okay, let's get there. So, Dashiva sees Rand.
He does. Now, Rand has no warning except the look of Dashiva snarling, and then Dashiva channels at Rand, and by instinct, and maybe some of Lews Therin's help, Rand reacts and forms a cocoon around himself, so when the explosion hits him, it doesn't just kill him immediately.
It's a super cool weave. It's like an impenetrable shell.
Unless Balefire.
But here's the thing that
this isn't Balefire.
No, but in my brain, my whole thing is like, why wouldn't you always keep this up?
Yeah.
If it's an impenetrable shell, why don't you always have this around you if you don't want to die?
Yeah.
It's because it also doesn't let oxygen in, and you need that to breathe. So he has to like let it go before he like can't breathe good anymore.
That's true.
It's just like mechanically it makes sense. You can't always keep this super shield up.
Okay.
I would do it, but with like a hole so that air can get in.
But then part of the attack can get in.
True. But like most of the attack can't.
That would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just put it up when you're attacked.
Yeah. If you see it coming.
Well, yes.
Coming from Rand, who just got shot with like 2 arrows in the span of like a couple of days.
I know.
You
think he'd be a little more...
Yeah. A little better.
Well, and like someone just blew up his room trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And now you're just running around.
Yeah.
Unguarded.
He's going stealthily though.
Sort of. He's sort of going... He's just like stood out on a balcony looking around.
Yeah, he was like, I know you guys.
Yeah. Hey guys! Up here! Okay. So, Rand launches an attack back at the 3 Asherman and immediately gets up and starts running back the way he came from. And he makes his way to where Dashiva and the others were. And he lets Lews Therin rage on in his head about killing all of them from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what Lews Therin has wanted since the beginning. That's true. We should have listened.
So here's the thing, because you've been on this whole train where LTT secretly knows, but he's been ranting and raving about some people, but not other people.
That's right.
And I'm just saying, like...
Yeah?
Not all these people were in that ranting and raving crew of people that he hates.
None of that matters. That was just for fun, because I like Lews Therin.
Okay. It's just like it doesn't necessarily hold up.
I know. I just believe exactly what I want to believe.
Yeah.
And I pick and choose from things that can possibly make sense.
But you're also just situationally believing the very crazy guy right now, so...
I always believe the very crazy. The craziest one is the least crazy of them all.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
Okay.
So now when Rand gets back to where they were, they're all gone, and Rand searches around a bit more, but all he sees is servants who are running around screaming about how the dragon is killing everyone, which is my favorite. That's my favorite. I know you want to talk about something else important, but I just think it's so funny. Picturing all the servants screaming about how the dragon
is literally on a murdering rampage.
The dragon is killing everybody.
No, I want to take a drink for one of these servants because it's one of the poor servants who sticks his head out and then sees Rand and immediately blacks out and like falls down.
Oh yeah, this is the faints from shock.
Yeah,
situation.
But it's like if you're trying to avoid getting killed.
He's not dead.
No, but if you're trying to avoid getting killed by the guy on a murdering rampage...
But when you say take a drink for him...
Well, you know.
He's not dead. He
Don't
faints
just pass
from
out.
Shock. That's Robert Jordan's favorite. Is people fainting from shock and vomiting from grossness.
We got to talk about the PR nightmare that's coming afterwards. Because, oh my god, the Dragon Reborn went on a murdering rampage.
Yes.
But it's all
He's killing everybody
it's all of his guys. It's all the Ashermen that are doing
it.
It's bad.
But also funny.
I mean, as a casual observer to the situation, yeah, it's funny. On the inside, it doesn't sound so funny.
Not so funny.
Yeah.
Very serious business.
Yeah.
So finally, Rand feels someone channel enough power to make a gateway.
Yep.
And thinks whether or not this is Dashiva and the others fleeing, or someone just trying to make Rand think that.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Yeah, now, in hindsight, do we think maybe Taim is like busting in at this point?
I mean, it could be, but
like,
it also
check on how the plan went, because he's clearly in on this.
I'm not gonna agree with you on that at all.
Okay, I'll get to it.
I understand that, but I'm not gonna agree with you on that. But I am gonna say that Dashiva and the others are no longer here.
Well, they ran away.
They did, or they just gatewayed out of here.
Or that.
Because they're not here, and Rand searches for hours, and they're gone. So, like, if we feel a gateway being
made...
It's
a big palace.
Time doesn't show up for a while.
Well... I think he doesn't walk into the room that they're in for a while.
No, it literally hours, because after Rand feels the gateway, it's hours pass of Rand searching, and then we time-lapse to see Min with Rand, and then eventually time shows up. So, like, this gateway being formed right now... I highly doubt that even if time is in on this, it's probably not him at this point.
Well, I think it is.
Okay.
He could just be around. He also probably knows folded light.
if he's G-Man Dread.
Yeah, like in hours from now he walks into a room, but I don't know. You're not going to convince me otherwise.
Well, like all the things, it's probably just even the guy's escaping.
Probably, but I'm just throwing out...
Yeah.
Other things it could be.
I'm not giving you anything on this whole times in on it thing.
Okay, but he is. So, now, Rand keeps going through the hallways. He's not even trying to hide anymore. And then he catches a glimpse of a black coat up ahead and immediately lashes out, trying to blow up the hallway. And then it all settles, and he waits and listens, and then a voice calls out, and someone's like... My Lord Dragon, it's me, Narishma, and Flynn.
Yeah, this is bad.
What are you doing? Stop. And then Rand lies and says,
this is very bad.
Oh, I didn't recognize you. Come here.
So here, pause on that.
Yeah.
This is Rand's perspective. Rand knows that he lied.
Yeah.
So he recognized Narishma.
Yeah.
And tried to murder him.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. He's in a very untrustworthy place.
Yeah. It's just like he already tried to murder Narishma once. Debatably.
When?
By not telling him about all the stuff around Kalandor.
Oh, no. Okay.
Rand's like, oh, I told him everything, right? For sure. I probably told him all the things.
No, he didn't try to murder him. He's just not a very considerate person.
Yeah. That's one way to say it.
He just had no thought for his well-being. That's different than intentionally trying to murder someone.
Okay. So, Flynn and Narishma make a good decision here. Yeah.
Maybe your blood is hot. Let's wait for everyone to cool down.
We're actually not going to come over there right now, Rand.
And Rand's like, okay. And then he hears them heading away from him.
Yeah.
And then Rand returns to searching the hallways to find any sign of Deshiva or the others, but there is nothing.
Yeah.
From what Rand can see in his state, you know?
Well, I mean, he's feeling for the power.
It does make sense at this point that they are going to flee.
Yeah, that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Although they would be smarter to leave. Although, how far away, like leave the palace and then gateway up, like away somewhere else?
Possibly. But you got to know the area that you're gatewaying from.
Oh, that's true.
So.
I don't know then.
Yep. It's tough. Anyways, Rand really doesn't trust anybody now. No. If he trusted anyone before, which he didn't, he really doesn't trust anyone now. So even his own guys are now trying to murder him.
Yikes.
It's well, considering that this, like, we're basically at the end of the book here.
Yep.
Rand's in a bad place, and it just got way worse. Like, he already was coming back from a very bad place. The last, like, 2.5 books.
Like, mentally, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He just came off the Ebu Dar stuff.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like, it's a decline. It's a very steep decline we're seeing right now.
Yeah, so, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's about to get worse in the next
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to get worse, and I believe it's not going to get better. Ever.
You know what? That's okay.
All right. Okay. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll head into the next perspective.
All right.
Okay, and we're back with a Min perspective change.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of a time jump. That's what you're talking about. There's hours that have passed. Min and Rand are in a small stone room deep in the Sun Palace, and Rand says that it's where he can get Min away even if someone tries to blow up the entire palace.
Yeah, it's like dungeony, low down.
With like a tunnel.
Yeah.
An escape tunnel or something.
It's a little safe room, sort of.
Okay, so Min is currently watching Rand, and Rand is sitting cross-legged on the floor, watching more, and like holding a shield on him.
Yes, he is.
Now, Min is doing her best not to think about what's happening currently, but Moore is sitting on the floor with his legs sprawled out, his tongue between his teeth, and he's working on building a tower of wooden blocks.
Yeah.
And then Min thinks back to how they got into this situation.
Yeah, this is what I kind of mentioned about how she explained that she left with more, and then somewhere on their journey she realized that he basically has the mind of a child, where he was pulling bricks out of the castle.
Yeah.
He was like literally using the power to pull the castle apart and was saying, I'm going to build you a tower to keep you safe forever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my god, his brain broke. And that's
and then Min has spent the last little while guarding more until Rand finally arrived.
Yeah, and she convinced him to like use these play wooden blocks instead of the actual stones out of the castle.
Yes.
So, yeah, that definitely scary for her. But I do want to talk about Moore's brain basically shutting down here.
Okay.
Because from our perspective, it's very sudden.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like this is his brain, like, giving into the taint, in a way, because his madness clearly has been escalating to a point, and we've kind of seen it, that madness from Saidin doesn't happen the same way for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
We've gotten tidbits of, like, Age of Legends, the breaking of the world, with people going crazy over time.
Yeah.
And it's not all like, oh, you go evil and you murder people indiscriminately. It's like sometimes, like, your brain stops working properly.
Right.
So it seems like that's what happened to Moore, unfortunately.
Yes.
So he's not dead, he's not evil, but a child with the ability of a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Bad.
That's how the world breaks.
Yes. Okay. So now at this point, they're just sort of sitting, I guess, in silence, and a voice says, "You hide yourself in the depths, it appears." And of course, it's Taim.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought we were gonna get some kind of like showdown and reveal.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Taim versus Rand?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm convinced that Taim was behind this.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I'm trying to think about motives, right?
Yeah.
So, Taim, I believe, is Demandred.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he does want power. And with the name Mazrim Taim, he was a false dragon. Mm-hmm. And now with Rand being the real dragon, he doesn't get all the glory that Rand is getting.
Mm-hmm. But so, now he's the Mahale.
Now he's the Mahale, but that's not good enough. So if Rand is out of the picture, then he could be the Dragon Reborn. He could claim himself as that.
Okay.
And then if he's serving the Dark One, well then, easy peasy for the dark side.
I like that. So like a Forsaken taking on the Dragon Reborn mantle. Almost.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, why would he all of a sudden want him dead this whole time when he hasn't been? And so he's got to keep up these appearances.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just want to, But it would be really easy for him at this moment to just murder Rand, I think.
Would it be?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing about Rand, though, is he's also got, like, Teviran power. Yeah. And he's got Delta T in his brain, who's always suspicious of everybody. And he can, like, do stuff. Yeah. When he's attacked. Uh-huh. So maybe it wouldn't be so easy to just, like, murder Rand.
No. And maybe Taim knows that. And
maybe.
So, because he seems to be playing on it. Like, he's checking on the situation. So here's what makes Taim a little bit sus here.
Okay, give it to me. Give it to me straight. Let's go.
He was literally in the palace this morning giving a list of things to Rand, and one of those was that Elaine is in Camelin.
Okay.
We got that note at the beginning of this chapter that Taim, on his visit, gave this information. He was already here.
Yep.
So now he returned back to the tower, I suppose. This is what we're supposed to believe. And then he gets this notification that there's some deserters from the Black Tower. Yeah. But how do they determine who's a deserter and who isn't? Because Gedwin and Rochade and
Torval and Kisman,
the rest of them.
Yeah. So there's 4 that he reports as deserters who are all unhappy over the events in Altara. Yeah. Which was the Abu Dar incident. So
well, apparently, but unless they were like, we're deserting. Is this like, that's what we're supposed to believe? Like, because I just don't. Because if they just leave, that's not necessarily suspicious, because they're supposed to kind of be here with Rand anyway. back and forth. I don't know. It all seems like...
Okay.
This doesn't make much sense.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Rand's already on his feet. Min knows this is a dangerous situation. And Rand says a bit too softly, "You come here holding sardine, Taim?" And Taim spreads his hands out, clearly lets it go. And then Taim tells Rand he was just trying not to get stabbed because those Aiel women seem agitated. And then tells Rand how happy he is to find him alive after seeing the destruction above.
Yeah.
So...
Like, he clearly had to come through the palace.
Yeah.
And he's not going to not hold
and
sardine.
he, found him here. I don't know.
It's not... I mean, you're trying to throw a lot of stuff here. It's like
There's some suspicious stuff. That's all.
Okay.
Because he says the reason he came here was not because he heard there was a bunch of turmoil and he's worried for Rand.
No.
He came here because he wanted to report deserters.
Yeah.
And now that also doesn't make a lot of sense because Rand didn't even hear about the other deserters and the other people who went crazy and Taim had to kill. And he didn't hear about any of that until another person from the Black Tower came and reported, in the last month or whatever, we've had 31 gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do we need all of a sudden a very specific report just after Taim has been here?
Yeah, I mean, well, possibly because these guys are pretty high up and they were just literally working with Rand.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. Gedwin and Rochade are full Ashaman for all we know. I'm just saying, there are some rationale as to, why it might be urgent to, let Rand know about these guys specifically. Yeah. Because they were just in his employ.
Yeah. And Taim says, "I never thought they'd go this far. I know they were unhappy about the events in Altara, but this..." And I just wrote in my notes, yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You didn't think... Please.
Okay.
Orchestrated the whole thing. So Taim sees more.
Yeah.
And it's I'll take this one with me if you want. And Rand doesn't like that.
No, he doesn't.
And he says, "I'll take care of more. That's his name."
Yeah.
And so Rand backs up to the small table and takes a silver cup and says, "The wisdom of my village could cure anything," and holds the cup and helps more drink from it. And then he says, "She knows more about herbs than anyone I've ever met. I learned a little from her, which are safe, which are not." And then he says, "Sleep, Fedwin."
Yeah, all around this is a pretty brutal scene to watch Rand have to go through.
Yep.
Because, I mean, he literally has to kill this guy after he just lost some of his
He slowly falls asleep. He finally dies.
Yeah.
Rand lies him down on the ground and says, "A little something in the wine to help him sleep." Which is a dig at Taim.
Well, that's what Taim does when anyone's going a little bit too crazy. Is
that's right.
Put something in the yeah.
In the drink, yeah.
In the drink.
And so Taim tells Rand, "You're much harder than I thought." And Rand tells Taim to add Deshiva to his list of deserters too, because next time he visits the Black Tower, he wants to see his head on the traitor's tree.
Yeah, so this is the news that Taim's super surprised about because, Deshiva. So...
It wasn't on his list.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But he also says, yes, next time you come to the Black Tower.
Because it's when is that going to be Rand?
Yeah. And so now Rand tells Taim to return to the Black Tower, not to come here again, and says, "I may be moving around for a while." And Taim leaves, and Rand says to Min, "No point in wasting time." And he takes his crown, which somehow survived.
Yes.
The crown and the scepter,
And the scepter, yep.
Anyway, he takes him from Min, tucks it into his little bag, and he tells Min he thought he was the pack of hounds chasing down the wolves. But it turns out he's the wolf. But sometimes the hounds catch the wolf. But the wolf needs to run. He's crazy. What does this even mean? I don't know.
This actually has a lot lot of implication to what his plan is. Yeah. Okay. So
tell me. Because I thought it was just what?
The hounds, the wolf hounds, the hounds hunt the wolf. So he thought he was the pack of hounds hunting down wolves. He thought he was the guy who was hunting down all the bad guys. Okay. The Forsaken, the Shan-Chen. Sure. He was on the attack. But now he realizes he's the wolf who's getting attacked by hounds.
Oh.
So he says, my plan is sometimes the hounds who are chasing you when you're the wolf, sometimes they catch the wolf and then it ends badly for the hounds because the wolf can lay a trap. but first the wolf has to run. So Rand is literally saying, I know I'm being chased and hunted right now, so I'm going to go out there. I'm going to start setting around a couple of traps so that the hounds who are chasing me, the Forsaken, the Ashaman, whatever, they're going to, I'm going to let them come to me.
Maybe he finally will go to Elaine and Caemlyn is definitely not true. Like, no way.
Well, he says, I have to run. I have to run first. And then it seems like Min is going with him.
That's what I was going to say. It does sound like Min is going with him.
So Rand's going to go lay some traps to hopefully murder some people who are trying to murder him.
Let's see.
We'll see in maybe next chapter?
Probably book 9.
Okay. Book 9. Okay.
Yeah.
But we got to wrap up maybe a couple things.
Yeah.
We have one chapter, because like the last chapter is literally like a page.
It doesn't count, yeah.
Doesn't really count. So you have like one big chapter left. Mm-hmm. And then book 8 is done.
Cool.
So yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. That's it. I'm just excited to go read.
Yeah. There's not much else to say, I guess.
No. So before you go ahead and gag and bound and shove some side plot characters under a bed, just for the sake of get them out of the way, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Margaret, and Charlie Haz, with music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.